Hello everyone. Today's gonna be our episode 4 review of Avatar: The Last Airbender. This is episode 1, The Boy in the Iceberg. We start off with the introduction of Katara and Sokka. They are brother and sister. I love their banter. In this episode, in this scene, they are lost. They're lost in a boat, and Katara is trying to find food. She finds fish, and Sokka accidentally pops the fish while she's doing it, but she's doing it backwards, and it gets Sokka all wet. Sokka berates her for that, and berates her for step two, and they're lost so much that Katara finally has it, and he says some such. Sokka does say some such comment to her. She gets very very angry, and she uses her waterbending behind her and breaks a iceberg part of it, and we see it exposes the avatar, or excuse me, Aang, and a creature on top of him, a creature or whatever. But it really exposes Aang. It exposes Aang like this, with his white eyes, white arrows, white arrow on his head, and Katara is very interested. Sokka's like, "Ooh, he could be dangerous. Sokka could be dangerous, Katara." Sokka is the comic relief of this show, pretty much, and this episode and this show in general. Katara is like basically the voice of reason, or like more curious, she might say. She's very curious. Um, the iceberg breaks off, and the iceberg breaks off. We see Aang going. We see Aang go on top and then basically falling. Katara catches him. Sokka bumps on the head. Feels like, is he real? Is he not real? Kind of funny, kind of silly. Overall. And the first words out of Aang's mouth to Katara is, "Will you go penguin sledding with me?" And very funny little scene they do, and find out about Aang is an airbender, and they're trying to get off. They're trying to get off here. Appa is on Appa. He finds Appa, or Flying Bison, who is too tired to fly, and Aang falls asleep on top of Bison. Has a vision of a dream, I might say, of what happened. I guess what happened to him and Appa. They were in the water, trapped in the water, and basically he uses, I guess you might say, his avatar powers or whatever. He puts the fists together and makes this orb, this iceberg orb, and that's how it happened to him. Wakes up and finds out he's in the water tribe, and do find out that um, Grand 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 is also Sokka and Katara's grandmother. Also in this village, there are no men, only children and women and children, pretty much. That's all there is. There's no men. And we know what happened to men. We don't know the men went to battle. We don't know the men went missing. We don't know all the men are dead. We have no clue. All we know is that Grand Grand says there was a war going on. There was a war going on, and we thank you for giving us some hope. Maybe we hope you are the Avatar. We hope you are the Avatar. And Aang's like, I'm not the Avatar or whatever. What's going on? And find out about the war. Find out that Sokka is trying to teach these kids to become warriors. They're not interested in becoming warriors. Aang finds out there's a war. He's like, why? What's going on? There's a war. And Sokka's like, you're kidding, right? You know there's a war going on. He's like, what war? I know what we're talking about. And like my other favorite anime character on One Piece, called Monkey D. Luffy, he gets perplexed from, or distracted from, a penguin, and he decides to go penguin sledding. Katara follows him, goes after him, try to find him, and that's all we really know about. We also find out that there's a fighting ship trying to find him, trying to find the Avatar. There's Zuko and there's Uncle Iroh, and about 20 other members in the ship as well, trying to find him. Zuko is very ambitious, very um, anxious to find the Avatar, and pretty much reclaim his father's throne. Pretty much, that's all we know about. Iroh has no interest in it. He's actually more interested in drinking tea, eating food, and just enjoying life. He's a very Zen-like character. Love that very much. Very Zen-like character. He becomes a really fun character in later episodes. So yeah, and they're trying to find Avatar. They see the blue, the glimmer of light, the glimmer of that light that was from the Iceberg, you might say. They go to that area. Well, while Katara and Aang go on penguin sledding, Katara tells Aang and says, "Hey, can you teach me how to become a waterbender?" He's like, I'll be happy to, but I can't. I'm an airbender. I have no idea to become a waterbender. I'm actually an airbender." And he's like, "Is there any waterbenders in your tribe?" He says, "No, I'm the only one in this tribe." He's like, "There must be other waterbenders in other tribes. Maybe someday we might go to the North Pole. Maybe someday in the future episode, you might say. In the future, we might go to the North Pole. There must be waterbenders that can teach you." And Katara realizes that, yeah, but it's like hardly any hope, pretty much. And she wants to become a waterbender because that's what her gift is. Her gift was to become a waterbender, you might say, or her family or her families were waterbenders and they left to become war. That's all we really know about, pretty much. Well, Katara and Aang see a Fire Nation ship abandoned, and they decide to. Well, Aang decides to go. Katara tells him that it could be booby trapped, and they decide to go anyway. And Katara is talking about Aang about this ship's been here since Grand was a child, so like basically almost nearly 100 years, I might say. And she tells Aang and says, "Do you know how long you've been gone?" He's like, I think a couple of days." And "It feels more like 100 years. That's the last time." He's like, "You serious?" To Katara, it's like, "What do you think I am, a 112-year-old man?" It's like, "Probably not. I don't know. I mean, it's been 100 years since the Avatar left, and then everyone else left. There's no Airbenders. There's no. I guess you're the only. I guess you're the only Airbender. Waterbenders left. Fire Nation became enemies, and that's where Aang stopped Katara and said, whoa. Fire Nation became enemies? I've been friends with them. We're friends. We have no reduction of war." And that's where Katara finds out about what the Fire Nation really is, I guess you might say. And she's like, "No, they're dangerous. These people have hunted down our people and many others as well. And now they're still trying to hunt down. They're trying to find the Avatar." Well, when that happened, Katara and Aang get trapped in the cage. It releases a signal flare, and they both escape. But Zuko sees from a far distance. He sees Katara and the Avatar. He says, escaping the ship, and that's where he sees them escaping and going and them leaving. He says there's where his hiding place is at, which is basically where Katara and Sokka and Grand live, pretty much. He's like, set a course to that village. Episode ends called "To Be Continued," and that's how episode 1 ends. It's a part 1 of part 2 of this one, pretty much. We'll do next episode. We do Avatar Returns, episode 2, next Monday on that one. But yeah, a little fun introduction to the characters, a little bit of world building, a little bit of world building, not much. A little bit of Fire Nation, a little bit of about it's Aang the Avatar. That's a mystery. Is Aang really the Avatar? Is he the last Airbender? Is there more waterbenders? Is Katara the only waterbender in the tribe? What's going to happen to their village? Is Aang going to have to fight off the Fire Nation? We'll find out, I guess you might say. Really cool episode. This episode was directed by Dave Filoni, who directed, of course, the Star Wars Clone Wars, Star Wars Rebels series, and many other Star Wars projects nowadays. Directed this episode and many other episodes as well. It's created and written by this. Not gonna pronounce the names, not gonna butcher the names, because you can look it up if you want to. This is their project, and they did a great job doing it. A really cool job of doing it. So yeah. Anyway, a really fun little 25-minute episode. So yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed my episode 1 spoiler review of The Boy in the Iceberg. Thank you for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe to my channel for any cool, nerdy stuff coming on the way. And as always, stay nerdy and be awesome. This is Supertastic, signing off. Goodbye.